Hi there, welcome to today's vlog. Yesterday, I kind of didn't know about it, I didn't forget, but I didn't kind of mention it on the vlog. Yesterday would have been the 97th birthday of Charlie Parker. This up here, I've kind of watching it in the background while trying to clear through some admin, is a 1988 Clint Eastwood film called Bird, starring Forest Whitaker. It's pretty good. There's a few historical inaccuracies in it, but there's some good scenes in there. I mean, there's this one, which is coming up now, where Bird sort of shows up at Dizzy's house, which isn't true, but it makes a good story where playing Now's the Time. But Bird was, you know, myself, I've studied more of John Coltrane just because of being a tenor player, but never ever underestimating the impact that Charlie Parker had, not only on jazz, but on the saxophone as an instrument. And if you are serious about studying the saxophone, you have to be serious about studying Charlie Parker at some point. His impact on the instrument, just in the kind of 14, 15 years he was playing, would probably be maybe 12 years really for Bird, up until his death in 1955, he just advanced what was happening on the instrument harmonically, melodically, rhythmically, beyond what I would say anybody else has managed to do. And kind of one of the things for that is there are so few alto players after Parker. You know what I mean? There's so few people who have actually kind of been able to have their own voice on the alto saxophone. If you were to put me in a corner, I would possibly say Paul Desmond, but he's more of a contemporary of Bird. But certainly people like Sonny Stitt were very heavily influenced by Charlie Parker. In fact, the story goes that Sonny Stitt moved on to tenor because he just knew that trying to go alongside Parker was just impossible. But if you're talking about Charlie Parker, you have to talk about the drug problems. You have to talk about how the fact that heroin took his life away from him. And it's so sad. But one of the things that does happen, and what I was aware of on social media yesterday, was every year, for the past kind of 15 years or something like that, people have gathered at Charlie Parker's graveside and played for Bird on his birthday. Which I think is lovely. And with it being his 100th birthday in 3 years' time, I'm setting a target to be in Kansas City on the 29th of August 2020. I think that would be a really great time to be in Kansas on Charlie Parker's 100th birthday, just to celebrate this amazing saxophone player. I really love this poster of Bird. It's one of my favourites in my studio. In fact, it's the first thing you see as you walk through the main door. And one of the things I'm always putting out to students is kind of his fantastic embouchure. It's kind of, you know, almost like the perfect embouchure that you always want to have as a saxophone player. But it's not just those kind of things with Bird. You know, you can take things like Now's the Time. We did Now's the Time as a transcription project with my Cambridge saxophone students, and that's a great place to sort of start with Charlie Parker. It's the blues, it's kind of that, well, the essence of jazz is, but also as well, you know, you've got those strings records, you've got kind of things like ornithology. In fact, a great story about when I was first time I landed in New York, I got on the subway at probably near 52nd Street, where the famous, you know, strip was for all the jazz clubs, and there was a guy kind of playing Take 5, and I sort of said to him, I said, hey man, can you play me some Bird through Madonna? And he played ornithology and absolutely nailed the break. And that was kind of one of the realizations for me, kind of the differing levels of musicianship between what I experienced back home in the northwest of England versus what was going on in New York, and kind of realizing how I needed to take those huge big steps if I wanted to kind of really dig into music, because things, you know, YouTube and things like that weren't around when I was first in New York. So, you know, check out some Charlie Parker. I'll pop a playlist in below and on Apple Music and Spotify, and please let me know how you find it. I better go on with some more admin. Ugh. Horrible weather. What happened to the summer? I do really like this Ringo app. It's nothing to do with the Beatles drummer. It's a great little app in Cambridge, so if you're parking, if you're parking without points, and I never have the right amount of change with me, it's always a nightmare, if you just type in location on the app, boom, 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 done. And it even sends you a little reminder when your car parking's running out. So happy with that. Go nip to the bank, nip to Woodward and Reed. I'm not going to spend too long here in Cambridge because the weather is dreadful. One of the things I hate about living in a village is not having access to banks and things. Which means you have to come into Cambridge. Now I know that most people don't use banks as much anymore, which kind of negates the need for using them, but not having facility and having to come all the way into town is a bit of a pain, but it's good when you can nip into music shops.
Only 2 weeks to write his cello concerto, so you should have it mastered in no time. And there to show you how.
That's twice now in just over a week. I've been in 2 saxophone shops and hardly spent anything. I did just pick up then some cork grease, some dust pads. You know, I told you about the sticky G-sharps. Well, the dollar builders ain't cutting it on these Rue pads at the moment. But other than that, I didn't buy anything else, which I'm quite impressed with. I like the look of those ligatures, but I've already got a good ligature and I'd be wasting my money with another one. I've gone through so many ligatures in my 20 odd years of playing the saxophone, and they don't make that much difference, let me tell you that. I fixed a filming day though to go in there, so that'll be coming up in a future vlog episode where I'll go in and basically I have free range of the whole shop to basically play whatever I want and do reviews for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that by subscribing. That's really important. Now, heading home because I've been kind of mulling over lunch and while I've been out, some changes I want to make to the studio. Now, I spent a lot of time in the studio and it has to serve many different purposes. It has to serve as kind of my office, my creative space, a teaching space, and it's kind of not really doing all of the things I want it to do, and it's cluttered, it's messy. Katie's forever telling me it's messy. Now the thing is, at the moment, so this time last year, I moved my desk from here to here, partly so I could use the TV as a third monitor when I was mixing, and I also just fancied a bit of a change. I felt like I was taking up too much room. I then created this area as kind of a charging point stroke extra workstation. The problem is, it's really got full of crap. And behind in the sort of library area it's just become a dumping ground, and there's a kind of bit around here which is just not getting used. So I have this table here, which, move the music stand out of the way. Oh, by the way, when I did the move last year, I did this. I had a disaster. My Mark VI fell and hit the ground. There is a diagnosed condition called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and I'm pretty certain that I have a bit of that, because when it's a day like today, I hate it and I need natural light to work in. So you'll often find me, you know, some videos you'll see me if I'm doing admin all day, I'll work on the laptop upstairs in the kitchen just because there's natural light. Now there is natural light by the window over here. It's not totally because it's sort of got a fire escape in it, but at least there's some natural light getting in. And I am an interior designer, I know, kind of said to me I should buy a mirror. I will probably buy a mirror. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to move this table here over to this corner over here. It might affect the acoustic a little bit, but I'm pretty confident I can overcome that. But I just want to be near the window, and I also want to do something about the mess of those wires. So let's get started. need done. This bit needs, whoa, this bit needs a bit more tidying up, but kind of how I sort of want it. It's not ideal. The desk is a bit wider than it is long. I suppose if I was thinking about it, I'd switch things over, but yeah, just kind of got the end of that Charlie Parker film on there. Let me just pause that and turn that off a minute. It already feels a bit more airy, a bit kind of how I wanted it to. I just need to make sure that corner gets sorted out. The problem is at the minute I've moved the light from where it was situated before, so we'll hopefully get that finished. Anyway, I've got let's go this way, it's better lighting. I've got meetings now from now until heading out to football, so I think now will be a good time to end today's vlog. Make sure you do check out those Charlie Parker playlists, check out the film, it's a really good film to watch, find out a little bit more about Charlie Parker, and maybe join me 3 years yesterday in Kansas City if we can make it work. Thanks for watching, bye bye.